Hello friends, we are going to do a project with some drawing gum or masking fluid. It depends on the company what they want to call it, but it's basically the same thing, and it's a type of fluid that has a rubbery consistency once it dries. And what you do is you put this on your paper in any configuration that you want, and you let it dry, and you paint over it, and then when the paint's dry, you remove it. And what you have masked has no paint on it. Pretty simple concept. I wanted something that anyone could do for this video. I think you don't have to be artistic to do this. You just apply the masking fluid in the shape of a tree. I used this little bottle with a nozzle because I thought it was just easier to apply it to the paper. I did try a paintbrush. It did not go as well. So, but you can use a paintbrush. You just will only be able to use the paintbrush for masking fluid because it'll get rubbery and gummed up. So, and that's what it's like. It is like drying gum. It's like gum, it's just sticky. But once it's dry, it's just like, like a rubber band, that rubbery feeling. So anyway, so you put your branches of your tree, they're just scribbles. I try to keep it real scribbly kind of looking. I think trees look like that anyway. They have all these mismatched shapes and branches, and I tried to keep it a little bit heavier towards the tree trunk and the main stem of the tree, and then scraggle out a little bit more as you went out from the tree, so that it had a little bit more substance in the middle of the tree. And I did 4 different trees. You could do as many trees as you want. You can stagger them differently. It's really up to you how you want to do it. I wanted this little short guy to be kind of pudgy like me, short and pudgy. So I wanted a little space at the top to write something if I wanted to, and which actually I ended up adding some thinking of you to the top. But you could also just leave it blank. You could make your sky dark and add some little stars in acrylic or a gouache of white. You can also use the masking fluid to make some little dots in the sky, and then paint a dark blue over it. You could do a sunset. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. This is just one way. When I recorded this last Friday, which was the 1st of January, we had several days of hoarfrost. It was so frosty out. It was just gorgeous. It really was stunning. I just couldn't get enough of looking out the window at it. And so I've been painting more. During that time, I painted more winter scenes, winter trees, and just a lot of blue and white. So once it's dry, and I walk away and leave it for a good half hour to dry. I don't use a heating tool because it takes a long time to dry. So just go do something, make a cup of coffee or do laundry or something, something fun. And then come back, and I wet the whole thing down because I want to get paint in between those branches. And I use 2 different colors of blue. Now, I know a lot of content creators will give you the colors and the brands and all of that. I probably won't. I'm not gonna lie. I can't imagine keeping track of that much info. If it matters to you, then you can always ask, and I can try to remember what I used. But just pick 2 blues that you like. I do think one of these, the darker blue, was Daniel Smith 2 paint, and the other one was Let's Make Art liquid paint, because I like these 2 colors, and so that's what I used. And I was swatching them, so that's why they're on a plate. I like to use a plate. I gave it a wash, and then I decided that there wasn't enough color between the branches because of the way the water pools around this drying gum or masking fluid. It just seemed to want to repel from that. area because in between those little branches, it's hard to get water in there. So I went over it a few times and darkened it up. And it will dry lighter anyway, so I'm glad I went back. This time, though, I did use the hairdryer. And you get to see the top of my head and me bumping the tripod a lot in this video. I did do a lot of editing of that out, so I am sorry for that, and I'm working on my placement. But so now that everything's dry, you just I take an eraser, is what I use. You can use your fingers, but I use an eraser, and you just lightly rub across it. I did try to do another one of these, but I was in a hurry. I pushed too hard. It doesn't seem to matter how fast you go, but how hard you press matters, because I did rip my paper in 3 different areas, just a little bit, but enough to really make you annoyed, make me annoyed. So I would be very careful at this point taking this off, and just very lightly brush. Take extra time to get it off. Don't be in a rush to take it off. It looks like I'm in a bit of a hurry there, but I know I was really light-handed with it, and I had no ripping, which was great. I also use washi tape. I like washi tape better than painter's tape. If I have it, I will use washi tape, but still heat it before you peel it off. I had just spent quite a bit of time using my heat tool on the tapes, and it just comes right off then, and no tears. I had no tears on this paper. I was really happy. So what I'm going to end up doing is thinking of you across the top and gifting it to someone during this pandemic who I can't see very often because we're all at home. But I think it's a lot of fun, and it worked out really well. I hope you'll give it a try, and thank you for joining me. I hope you subscribe to my page and check out my Patreon. It's all in the description, and I hope you have a really great day. Thanks, bye.